Hello and welcome to this video. We're doing something a little different today. As you have seen from the title, I decided to try this challenge that Tina has. Her channel is Shabbydabbydoodah, and she has a challenge for 3 things in 30 minutes alphabet challenge, and A first letter, the word was acetate. So I thought I would give it a try and work with acetate and challenge myself. I am not doing the 30-minute time limit though, because I thought that would stress me out too much. So I'm making 3 things out of acetate and totally getting out of my comfort zone. So I had these pieces that I had from packaging and some pamphlets that I had taken apart from my previous work. And I thought I would try to make some circles with the packaging, having no idea if this would actually cut through the acetate. And I was very curious to see if it would work. It kind of cut it through, but not all the way, but good enough for me to tear the rest off to make a perfect circle. Obviously, if you wanted to do something similar, you don't have to use your die cut machine. You can just place a cup or something around it and then cut it. So I cut 2 of those circles. And I thought what I would put in the middle is one of Demi's flowers that she had sent me in a previous Happy Mail because they're so lovely. And I thought I would just put that in the middle of the 2. And then I wanted to try sewing around it. I also didn't know whether my sewing machine could handle that. But as you can see, it did a great job. And I had dark blue thread in it, so it was perfect for this little embellishment. And I decided to make a tag out of it by just punching a hole on the top. Now, if I would have thought this through earlier, I would have moved the flower a little bit farther down so I wouldn't have had to punch through the petal. But so it goes and it's fine, and I'm just going to punch an eyelet through with my crocodile. And there's the first embellishment, really quick and easy. Number 2, I was going to use this, this was a cover of some pamphlets. So I wanted to make a tag with these butterflies. These are Tim Holtz dies. And I got this die used at a craft flea market, but I have a similar die from Tim Holtz that I am linking below because they don't sell this one anymore apparently. So I was trying to figure out how I would arrange the butterflies, and then according to that I would cut a tag shape out of it. So I'm just using a black marker to make the outline of the tag first. And then I'm just going to use my scissors to cut that out. And of course I again needed this twice. So I just used that first shape and then outlined it with my marker and then cut that out as well. So now I had 2 of these, and I wanted to, first I am cutting the corners like I always do when I make my own tags. Just cut one corner off, then flip it over to the other side to have the same shape on the other corner. So now I have a typical tag shape, and now I'm gonna see how I want those placed, and I'm just gonna center those, and of course I'm inking those up, and of course I'm inking them up on both sides because it is see-through on both sides. And then I thought it needed something additional. It was too plain, and so I took my little label maker. I had gotten this locally at the store Hema, which I believe is a Belgian chain, but you can find them everywhere on Amazon or AliExpress or wherever. And I decided to write the word adventure, and I just did that twice so that they would be the same size. And now I'm just cutting them to make them exactly the same size because I wanted one to show on the front and one to show on the back side. So now I'm just peeling those off, and I'm going to put them on the inside So now I'm figuring out where I want that placed, and I'm just gonna stick that on just the butterfly, flip it around, and put the other one exactly on the same place. Flip it around again, close up that tag, and once more run that through my sewing machine. And again, I used a messy double stitch, which I really love. And there you see both sides are pretty, front and back. So then I also wanted to make the hole on the top with an eyelet. This time I'm using a golden one. On the round flower embellishment I had a silver one. No particular reason, I'm just trying to switch it up a bit. Okay, so that's embellishment number 2. And as a third thing, what I wanted to do was I wanted to make a tuck spot in my no-sew journal. So I chose this page, and I was going to use the rest of that acetate cover. And I wanted to again use my die cut, and I have these I have no idea what you would call this, but I wanted to try that. And so I'm just cutting it down first to fit the length and width that I wanted the pocket, it's not a pocket, the tuck spot to be. And then I'm going to run it through my die cut machine. I wasn't sure whether it was going to cut through, but actually this time it cut through completely, so that was awesome. But of course it was too short, so I just decided to use my scissors and cut like a round shape on both ends, so that I would have the full width that I need. And of course you don't need to use your die cut machine again, you can just cut with your scissors. You don't need a fancy shape like this, you can just cut a straight line with your scissors. And since it's acetate and you couldn't really see it, I thought, well, why don't I run it through my sewing machine first, just to acetate on the outer side, so you see it there, so that you would see actually the edge of it. And then I was going to run it through with the page to actually sew it onto the page. So now we have the tuck spots, and I really love that. I didn't think I would like it as much as I do, but I really think it's cool. And to put inside, I first thought, well, why don't I put one of the 2 embellishments in there, but I didn't like that. So instead I chose this card that came from Tracy, Allison's mom, from the previous Happy Mail. So after inking that up, I'm just gonna stick that inside, and I love how you can see through that tuck spot and read it without having to take it out. Next, I wanted to somehow attach my round floral embellishment, so I wanted a page that wasn't quite as big. So I chose this one, which is some blank music paper, and I thought I would attach it with a brad. So I wanted to punch a hole, and I thought it's better if I measure it, because I would never be able to hit the center of that without measuring. So I just made a tiny dot and then put a hole through it. And I thought I'd better reinforce the holes, since I didn't want that to tear with a brad in it. So I'm just using a hole reinforcer that I had distressed with my vintage photo. And now I just need to look for a brad, and the ones I'm choosing are numbers, and they are Tim Holtz, which I got at a craft fair as well. If I find something similar, or if I find these from Tim Holtz, I will link them below. And I was looking for the number 8, because that was the date, August 8th, that I actually did this. So I found that, and I'm just going to put that through to the back. And so that's secured there now, but of course the page was still too plain, so I wanted to add some words on the bottom. And I found this sheet that I had written on my computer at work when I was still working, so I don't have this unfortunately, otherwise I would link it below. And I just typed some things. So one of the phrases that I wrote and that I chose for this spread is Let nature be your calming breath. And I love that one. And I'm just tearing it down with my tear ruler, which I have linked below as well in 2 different links. And after inking that up, I'm just going to glue that there on the bottom. So that is spread number 2 finished. Very simple, but I like it. And for this embellishment or this tag, I wanted to find a ribbon that would look nice. So I am looking for something blue that would work well with the blue of the butterflies. Going through a few options here in my ribbon drawer. All these treasures that I love. If you want to see my craft space or how I store my things and you haven't seen it, I do have a video. You can find it easily. It's called, I think, my craft space. So have a look if you want to see. And so I go for this baker's twine, I think it's called, and I'm just threading that through, cutting them a little bit shorter. And I wanted to put this in Allison's journal, and I might regret this because it's kind of bulky, but I figured since I'm not going to sew it in or anything, I can always take it out if it really bugs me. And I wanted to use one of these huge paper clips that I got from AliExpress, and I will link them down below as well. I think they're really cute. And I'm just going to clip that on there because I do want it to, I want to be able to take it off so I can see both sides because both are pretty. There you go, quick little video, 3 things done with acetate. Love this challenge, totally something new, and I hope you give it a try as well. It was so much fun. Thank you so much for watching it. Thank you, Tina, for the inspiration. I love this. Bye.